Hello everyone, episode 2 of our Newhill Football Club podcast. Joining us today by popular demand is our chairman, Aermail, and he will be joined by the club captain, Darren Donnelly. Hi everyone, very welcome to our second episode of our Newhill Football Club podcast. Delighted to be joined today by club captain Darren Donnelly and Mr. Newhill himself, club chairman Aermail. Lads, very welcome.
Yeah. Thank you, Michael.
Thanks for having me.
Pleasure. Going to start with the main man, Mr. Newhill.
Darn.
It's
You
been
know, seats here.
it's been a lifetime.
Lifetime indeed.
A lifetime.
Indeed, but sure, listen, it's been worth it. Do you know what I mean? Quite happy with football.
37 years.
37 years.
Yeah, man,
I'll tell you what,
Jesus.
it's been a long.
I know. As I say, 37 years. You've more or less done the apprenticeship. You've started as a 7-year-old. You've been a player. You've been a coach. You've been a manager. You've been on the committee, and now obviously you spearheaded as arguably the best chairman of Belfast.
Well,
some going.
That's debatable. Like. It's debatable to a few people. Do you know what I mean? But listen, it's a long process now. Do you know what I mean? Big boots to fill, obviously from Paddy. You know what I mean? So it's a long process. Hopefully, I can give back what Paddy given. Do you know what I mean? Paddy give all his life to Newhill, so now give back.
And he's still doing it, to be fair. Paddy still comes to all the functions as and when he can. He never misses presentations or Christmas parties, whatever. He's always there.
So, listen, you know, fingers crossed I can get back, obviously, what Paddy given. I mean, Paddy give his life and soul, obviously, in the Newhill, so that's my turn.
Yeah. Well, I probably see a bit more than what you do than most sort of parents or players or whatever, and like I can only personally speak from what you give this club is commendable. I've been involved in a couple of clubs over the last sort of 15, 16 years, and I've never seen a chairman as committed, as probably too reachable. In my opinion, I always think I've never seen a chairman for players, coaches or parents to have so much access to. Normally the chairman doesn't get any text, doesn't get any involvement in the sort of day-to-day teams or whatever, but I
like to try and help everybody as much as I can. Do you know what I mean? People obviously ring me for stupid things, and it puts my head away. Do you know what I mean?
Oh, I know.
I know. Like they ring in and they ring, and I go like, "What does he want now?" You know, but it's obviously stupid things that Darren could sort out, yourself could sort out, somebody could sort out. But the first point of contact is obviously they're coming through me. Do you know what I mean?
And we have tried to be fair as a club. I have tried to change that where that's not the case. You should always be. You know, if you look at it in a group structure, you should always be the last man in a sense to know about it. But sometimes it doesn't always work.
I've had many people at my door sometimes. Do you know what I mean?
I've had many coffees where you've never had a nervous breakdown where people are just ringing you flat out. But it's well worth it. It's done now, do you know what I mean? And I mean, obviously where I wanted to be, do you know, and started off as a kid playing football and obviously worked my whole way up now and now I'm at the top. Yeah.
Just need to stay there now.
Yeah.
Keep everybody happy.
That's it. You'll have Foxy and Conor McMullen challenging you here shortly for the big seat.
That could be given up very shortly. I mean, if anybody and boys want another, there's no issues, you know what I mean?
I don't think there'll be much challenge there, to be fair. It's, and then you joined, so I want to try and understand, obviously, 37 years ago. Lifetime, as I say, you joined at 7. Who would have been your first coach back then when you joined?
I would probably been Yankee. Yankee was obviously Yankee was all.
Was that long Yankees been at the club? I knew he was there long years. Because he was there obviously when I was there. You're a bit older than me, but
I played for Yankee and Stephen Sherlock.
Right, okay.
I played for. So did, and then obviously when I got sort of 15, 16, I went and started coaching, obviously helping out with Ray and Kid-Conlon.
They were Tony's two managers. We actually spoke about them. We had Billy Joe on the last episode. We were chatting about them.
Yeah, so that's what, and then obviously it just took off from there. And then me and Ray started the senior team, and I went, "What am I doing here? I need my head examined." Do you know what I mean? But you know, it's just one of them things. It's obviously just the things all fell into place. Then
it's just always. I always find it's like a natural progression. Particularly with this club, there's jobs in this club that people like that say to him, say like, "How did you become a coach?" I've no idea. I never wanted to do this, but I love it.
Yeah,
I wouldn't change it. And then obviously you were there sort of long time. You were a coach, started the first team. We'll touch on it a bit later in the podcast, but then the senior team started sort of bottom division of Belfast. Belfast and District, as it was. Or it used to be the old Down in Connor. Wasn't it? That's what they called it. We would have played in that. and then getting the club, obviously getting them into Amateur League was the first big step.
Yeah, I mean, a lot of people obviously don't know this here, but I tortured Brian Kirker. I absolutely tortured him. And how am I going to do this? How am I going to do this? And what do I need to do? And blah, blah. Bram was a big influence. And Brian Kirker from 22nd.
Oh, 22nd.
Yeah.
See, actually, Brian, I've never met Brian, to be fair, but I got Brian's number when we were trying to get funding sorted and trying to get a pitch sorted for facilities. And Brian was a big help to me too.
He was brilliant.
He pointed me in the right direction a couple of times of who to speak to.
Yeah, and nothing's ever any trouble with him. Do you know what I mean? If he doesn't answer his phone, obviously he always rings you back, or he messages says, "Mate, I'm busy, blah blah," but I'll phone you at whatever time. Do you know what I mean? There's no issue.
His son's actually married. I don't know if they're married. I think they are married. Or the kids together. Jared Mullen, West Belpain. So his son's married or goes with Jared's daughter. They have a couple of kids together. So Jared tortures him, obviously. Jared.
Of course, Jared wouldn't do that.
No,
he wouldn't.
But and then we got I listened to. I don't know if this is accurate, so you can confirm this for me. I listened to a YouTube. It was Daggy, was on with, might have been Carl and Steady, actually, and he was doing that the first application we put in for the Amateur League got declined.
Yeah.
Is that true?
100%, yeah.
Yeah.
The reason why it was declined was because the pitch that we were using up at Sally Gardens had yellow bylines.
Right, okay. Had to be white.
Had to be white. And I'm going, but that listen, rules are rules.
Yeah, no,
and that's just the way it was, do you know what I mean? So we went back the following year, obviously, and we'll get in.
Got it right.
Do you know, but again, as I say to you, Brian helped me out and what we need to do and how we need to structure the club and do whatever. And Brian was a great help me. Yeah. So I appreciate that, Brian. Thank you so much.
Yeah, no, thank you, Brian, for the help that you give me too. Give me a bit of guidance on how we got the initial conversation started with the local councillors and the council themselves. We went and seen the council themselves to see if we can try and get funding for the pitch, and thankfully we did, which is good. Darren, I'm going to bring it to you. Club captain. Yep. Probably didn't want the club captain. I was probably threw upon you, and you were like, "Oh my God, what's going on here?" But Patrick Dillon, actually, I just want to mention this. Patrick Dillon is fuming that you've got the spot ahead of Patrick Dillon. He couldn't believe it. He must have told me 100 times that he's the record goal scorer for the club, and he still can't get a seat in the podcast. So, sorry, Patrick, we'll get you on the stage.
I'll tell you quicker. Patrick Dillon actually started at right back.
Did he?
I swear to God. And I'll tell you what, he was one of the best right back you've ever seen in your life. He was class.
You haven't seen me at 35.
I've seen you. He's like a wizard. I mean,
there was weights on his ankles.
I come off for 2 days.
Milk quicker. Come on.
I come off for 2 days.
Yeah.
No,
Patrick played right back, and he was quality, absolute quality.
I know he was giving me a bit of stick about it, but so you obviously joined the club as a 6-year-old, 18 years, 19 years at the club,
anyway.
And then obviously, as I say, club captain, senior, first team captain. Must feel good, to be fair, coming through as a baby to where you are now.
Yeah, absolutely, Mick. It's probably never thought there was going to be.
Yeah.
Eventually, club captain, but when I like you say, I joined at 6 years of age, and actually, when I was younger, I was never really into football.
Right. Okay.
Before the age of 6.
Yeah.
Whereas you see now, it's usually we have the tots and stuff.
Yeah.
You're getting 3-4-year-olds. Like I was never into that. Like my dad was, my brother was, and I always would have went to football with them, but I was never like, I
can't wait to play or whatever.
I never had that. But then as I got older, I was like, maybe I'll give this a go.
It always helps too, like when your brothers or daddy or friends are playing, you think, "Oh, I'll go." It's more. I think more nicely. It's just like activities.
Because like my dad took a team at Newhill, so he did. Can't remember what year group, so I can't maybe 98, 96, 97. Anyway, whatever the age group was. Like I always would have went to training with him, so we'd have been just watched, and then the more I went, I was like,
you enjoyed it.
Maybe this is for me. And then Gary, my brother, he obviously played for Foxy, so he did for the. What age was that? It must have been 96, 95. He played for that. He played a year or two up, so he did. So.
Right, okay. Rocky, just on the point, likes to remind you that Gary's a better footballer.
I don't think that's to be honest, I could sit here and have the fair case.
Rocky always likes to remind you about that one.
Oh, good touch, man.
Somebody referee sub.
No, listen, he's a great footballer. I don't think he's playing the championship. I never was able to reach that level, so it wasn't. And all that.
Okay,
Try and sit here and say that I am a better footballer. I would never would say that. Yeah, and like I say, I joined at the age of 6, and it was just, like I say, Yankee was my first coach as well as the gaffer, and it was just you were going to play games, and then the more you got there, you were getting around people, you were socialising and all that stuff.
It's a great club. Like, I actually said this to Billy Joe last week, who had played for Newhill. I'm probably sounding a bit biased on a Newhill podcast, but I genuinely think, and I'm sure there's going to be lads going to disagree with me here, but I think we're the best club, in particularly West Belfast, our area. I think we're the best run club. We get to see a lot of stuff that obviously the parents probably don't get to see, what we do in-house. I think it's the best run club on the road.
No, absolutely. And I think, obviously, whenever yourself came in there the other year, obviously you were training player for Skulls team, and you were a parent just, and then we came in yourself, and it's sort of went on from there as well, but with the help of obviously
another bad decision by me.
Taking all
there's no such thing as a bad decision. Give your head a shake, really.
My wife Claire says to me all the time, why do you do these things? There's not enough hours a day for you. Why do you insist on doing these things? But it keeps me busy, it keeps me out of trouble.
But the likes of yourself and obviously the community and stuff, like all the behind the scenes stuff that people don't see, is why we can probably say that we're one of the best clubs. But like you said there at the start, like growing up, obviously being club captain now, it's a great privilege. So it is being in that position when the club is in such a good position now itself, because obviously we have our own ambitions. So it is the first team. I want to get maybe further than what we are at the minute, and with the help of obviously the committee getting the grant and stuff for the pitch.
I think also too, like obviously the club, the senior team started probably 20 years ago. Would be right to say that. Maybe they're about, I don't know the exact date. And it started obviously in the lowest division of BDFL, and then getting to the Amateur League was a big step. Like, we're one promotion away from getting the intermediate football. Like, we're one promotion about getting a lucky draw of getting the Irish Cup fixture.
Yeah, the false part.
Into the false part.
And that's what
and it's incredible what the club have done long before I ever got involved in it.
That's what I've always said the last few years. Like, the club are a step away now from an Irish Cup draw in the false part. Like, how good's that?
Like, imagine getting like Linfield or Cliftonville or one of them guys there, and or Crusaders or somebody, bringing them to the false part.
Even to think about it.
We'll probably get
the Blue Bay Brigade be out in full force.
The Blue Brigade.
The Blue Bay Brigade be coming from my graveyard. That long walk from that graveyard to Falls Park, you know what I mean?
But could you, like, joking aside, like, could you imagine like how good that would be for the club? Like, I mean, like, as I say, you lads would have been involved a lot longer before but like, to come back from a grassroots club in West Belfast that essentially has nothing in terms of resources. We rely heavily, like every club, on sponsorship, donations, and to get the Irish Cup, even if it's only a first round draw, and even if we do, as I say, get tanked. What an achievement.
What an achievement.
What an achievement.
Yep.
And just to go back to Patrick Dillon, that's probably why he's maybe cracking up with you, because he did play in the BDFL, whereas I didn't. I came back whenever we got Amateur League.
I wish Patrick had told us that a bit more often. He hasn't mentioned it.
He said it at the order.
I think I got it about 15 times just to be on the way for it. About how he was the founding member of it. But
that was about a drink too. So
I'm sober. But he's no, it's, as I say, the club's in a fantastic place. We have obviously the 3 senior teams now. I think probably the problem we have as a club, or as the senior coaches have, is trying to keep people happy. We're in 40, 50 100%. People. I don't think there's any senior setup, particularly where we are. So you have obviously CSP, St James's, Belfast, Salt Lake, Willowbank. I would be fairly confident that on a Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, whatever night their senior setup train, like, they wouldn't be getting the numbers written. There's no way.
Our numbers are frightening at the moment.
Like, you go to White Rock at 5 o'clock or whatever it is on a Monday and Wednesday to train. I was senior training being at 7, and then there's girls teams, there's 18s, there's 16s, all on before, and the White Rock pitch is just covered. Yeah. So it is, and it's so good to see. So it is.
How many do we have? We have 21 teams, kids, 22 teams.
Yeah.
For the club.
There's a couple of age groups, obviously, with 2 teams there, like the under 18s and under 16s as well. It's just the club's going from massively, absolutely massively.
Yeah, it's no, even when, like, when Tiernan would have played, so Tiernan might have been 14, 15 when he started playing for school. can't remember. And I can remember a couple of boys, and a couple of the boys are playing for our senior team. Now, I'm not going to mention their names because I'll probably embarrass them. But I can remember them talking. This is a true story.
Want that pass?
Oh, I don't want to do that. They're too big for me now. They end up chinning me. But
Huck later's just about to pass on the second here.
This is a true story. Again, I can remember them all talking. And obviously when you're kids and you're 14, 15, you want to do this, you want to do it. And one of them were talking. I remember how the conversation came about. And one of them said, "Oh, imagine playing for Celtic." And one of the boys said it, and the other boy said, "I would do it too." And one of the boys turned around and said, "I just want to play for Newhill's first team." And I think that's class.
Brilliant.
I think that's class. Like a 14, 15, like you have ambitions. Most kids want to go and, like, if they're good enough, the Irish League or across the water. But that lad there says, "No, I want to play." And he's in our senior setup now. I'm not going to mention his name. But he was. I just thought that always stuck with me, and I always thought fair play too.
Yep.
So
if everybody had that attitude, it would be a better place. You know what I mean?
Definitely. Certainly Newhill anyway.
Yep, definitely.
So Don, you were obviously Yankee was your first coach. And I always again speak about this with people like Yankee, and he was your first coach as well, Aermail, and like the likes of Yankee and Ray and Kid Conlon and Stephen Sherlock, and there was Taff, and there was I'm trying to think who else. There was Rockley, obviously, and Bob McIntyre, Punchy, but like
Big Paul Hanna too.
Big Paul.
Yeah.
But there was all them coaches, with respect to them, weren't coaches. They were volunteers. They were daddies. They were uncles. They were friends, all helping out. And like you look at our coaches now, like there's quite a few of our coaches all have badges.
Yep.
They all want to go. I think Taylor
is
A.
The Taylor A.
Taylor's A. I think our senior ladies coach, Amy B. I think Carl might have.
Clarence B as well.
Conor McMullen.
Yeah, Adol's up there as well.
Adol's up there.
Yep.
Have you any coaching badges?
Yeah, so I have my C license.
C license?
So I do.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think it's incredible, but like back then it was unheard of, and it was, and it shows because when you look at Carl's Toner's A team that Carl takes, play some brilliant stuff. You know, when we were obviously growing up and younger, you were having somebody's daddy, and before they didn't really know what they were doing.
No.
You know, credit them for doing.
They were standing there for an hour babysitting.
There was more or less.
That was up to the top and bottom. Listen, stand on that gravel pitcher and just make sure no fights break out. That's it, done.
But even like the gravel pitch you're talking about, or like the amount of funding that has been in the grassroots football over, like, I don't know if you remember the gravel pitch at the Barclays Centre. No. So I remember too. So like, you would have known the place. It was just like basically a waste ground with gravel, and it was laying out. But you would have been playing a match, and there was broken glass, and there was dogs on it.
Friday night before the match.
It was crazy. Like, and then you see the facilities now. Obviously, the Lair Centre, the park, the way it's going to be, even like the Irish school, and the facilities we have, and the coaching and the funding that goes into grassroots football. Like it's incredible compared to what we have. Like, the kids now are so lucky.
Yeah, 100%. They don't know they're living. They
really
genuinely don't. Like
the opportunities they have now,
brilliant.
Completely different. And it's really good.
Like you had to be. I mean, elite to even get a scout to look at you, to take you across the water. Now there's scouts at every club trying to get kids opportunities to go, even if it's a trial at the Irish League or whatever, to get that stepping stone for them. It's been really good. It's really good to see, and it's probably some of our kids, probably with the right dedication and commitment, could get there.
Yeah, but as you said, it's different level of coaching. It's different. It's different. Totally. Completely different gravy now. You know, it's textbook.
You used to play 5-a-side.
Yeah,
that was your training. You went to train. You paid $150 on a Tuesday and Thursday. We used to play 5-a-side, and like your warm up was a lap of the pitch.
Yeah,
there was no stretching. There was no nothing. There was no. But I suppose that's all you knew back then. The education around coaching now, and as I say, the IFA have been very supportive of the club and trying to get we're pushing towards full accreditation for the club. But the funding and the coaching opportunities have been fantastic.
It's been great. Like, so listen, everybody wants to take part in it, right? You know what I mean? So which is pretty good. Like.
And then, Aermail, talk me through, obviously, because I know you were instrumental in getting the club to the Amateur League. What made who made that decision to say, look, let's try and get the club to that next step? Let's try and get out of the BDFL and try and improve the club.
Like, I'm going to be completely honest. Do you know what the major turning point was the referee situation? Mm-hmm. I'm going to be 100,000,000%. BDFL, we're turning up there, tossing a coin to referee a match, and I'm going, what am I doing here? Yeah. Like, what is going on? and we're killing each other, and there's no red cards, no yellow cards, and I'm going off me. I need out here. I absolutely need out here. And as I say, the referee thing was going down the tubes, and I just thought we have to get our club out here because we've won the league numerous times. We've done it all in here. Now it's time to jump ship, and we had to go. Do you know what I mean? So that not only said it was a referee said, but it was a thing for the club obviously to move forward,
progress.
You know,
And
what
it's
I mean?
better facilities. You're playing at better pitches. You're playing sort of better teams.
Better teams. That's exactly it. Yeah. And we thought, listen, this is definitely the next place where we need to go to. And we applied for it to say we can knock back the first year because obviously the Sally Gardens that we're playing on, but because it had yellow bylines. Didn't know it was a rule, but apparently it is. So,
and what did that application? How long would that application have taken to sort of get through?
It was nearly on the card probably for just over a year and a half, like. And then bit the bullet, and I said to Brian, "What do I do here?" And Brian goes to me, "Put the application in, see how you get on." Didn't get an interview, and then kept going, and we got the interview over to Valley Park, and away we went, and that was it, done. So
I could just imagine you parked outside that office every.
I wasn't moving. I wasn't moving until I get in.
Could you imagine him in an official interview?
That's why we can have.
But I tell you, it was nothing. Now the yellow lines, I was going for me. Made ideally something there. White lines we play on.
Aermail was telling them what to do.
But no, the interview in the Valley Park, like, it was a full squad of people in there, like, and you had to go in and basically sell your club till these guys, like, and it was crazy, like, why we wanted into the Summer League, and why do you think we deserve to be in the Summer League?
But it was also, I also remember the Amateur League being so much better run, where if you had like, I can't remember the exact figures, but if you had like more than 5 red cards in a season, or
they've done a lot of background.
They've done a lot, but then you also would have got through out of it. So like, if you had got more, so like if your disciplinary record was so bad,
they didn't let you in.
You would have got kicked out of it, or like they didn't want like, I don't want to say head cases, but they didn't want head case teams going in and just booting all around them and starting fights.
Wrecking the place.
It would have been. I would have had them regular. I remember playing in the BDFL as a kid, like sort of 17, 18. There's fights every week.
Yeah,
fights every week.
But the Amateur League had a good reputation. You know, the great reputation, and I went, that's where we want to be. We want to be in there. Do you know what I mean? When we attract the players back, like, I mean, there's a man sitting beside me. Got him back in. Do you know, he was at Rosario for a while, and obviously once we got our Amateur League status, Darren obviously jumped back over again, and over the moon to see him come back over again. Do you know what I mean? So he brought a lot of players with him.
What made you go to Rosario? Was it just you wanted a better level of football, better facilities, or?
Do you know what it was, Mick? Like, I played for the 2000 team, so that in Newhill, and Joe McCaff and Smitter were my managers. And there was probably opportunities throughout my time there where I could have left maybe a wee bit earlier and tried a higher level. And I never did, because we were winning. We were winning every week, and we were winning trophies. You're winning trophies with your mates. So I didn't see any point of leaving. But they always had in their mind that once the under 17 was done, that team was done. So I went to the Foyle Cup. I can't remember what year, but under 17 anyway. And we ended up winning the plate down there, and then after the game in the final, that team done. So I went to go and try and play Cliftonville in that summer, and I was there for a few months. And I can look back on it now and probably say that it wasn't good enough. I probably left it too late. So I did.
That's honest of you, to be fair. Not many people blame everything and blame this and blame that. But
I probably wasn't good enough. I probably left it too late, where I had the opportunity a few years before to go and do it, and I never did.
Yeah.
So I probably left it too late, and then it was actually Barry Begley, the Rosario manager at the time, from obviously Barry.
Oh yeah.
He was a manager, and he got in contact with me to go over to Rosario. And at the time, obviously Newhill were in the PDFL, and Rosario was thinking at the time we're in 1B, 1A.
Good club, Rosario.
Great run. But I went over there and played 18s for the first year when I was 18. And done well, and then went up into the senior setup and played for the seconds and first, and played in the Irish Cup and stuff, a few Irish Cup appearances.
And how many years did you play for the first team?
So I was in the senior setup for 2 years, probably a year for the first team, but I was in and out, so it was.
So what would you have been there, 21?
21.
21. That's a good level, like at 21 years of age.
That's when I came back to Newhill, whenever I was that age, but.
I went downhill then.
I went downhill.
All the lunatics at the age chasing around the Falls Park.
He got me in the coaching and everything. I was like, oh, what have I done? But no, ever since then, it's been, like I say, the club, we'll say it already, the club I've earned from progressed. So that was.
And we're not stopped yet. We have a load of plans in the pipeline. We'll not divulge them just on this podcast, but
That's why I'm coming
I
over
may
like
get
that.
out before we get involved in anything else.
It's getting on to the review next week. You don't know it yet.
but it's, and then the club, obviously, I don't know if many of our parents or people listening will know, 73 club was set up.
Yeah.
We obviously had the 50th anniversary done it there 2 years ago.
Yeah.
I just come back from Honeyman. I was only back from Honeyman a day. Because Claire was meant to go and she wouldn't go. She was too tired. I said, I'll go. So I took Podrick with me. So me and Podrick went down to the anniversary, and you actually spoke with that. If I remember, I was a bit worse for wear when you were speaking as well.
Can you remember? What's it we speak?
Vaguely. I don't remember word for word, but it was a good speech to be fair. It was well prepared, and you came across fairly well.
Yeah. It was Yankee, just to go back to him again, it was actually Yankee that came to one of the trainings where I was coaching the O5s and said, like, I wanted, obviously, I think you spoke at it, Michael Donnelly and yourself, and he wanted a different perspective, kind of like maybe someone younger who's coming through and that maybe has a different view on things. And obviously, I was made club captain just a few months before the 50th anniversary, so we thought it was a good idea to get me to speak.
No, definitely.
I think it went well.
I know it was a great night.
I can remember.
If you can't see I wasn't part of the plan, there's something wrong here. Like, make him captain now. Like, get him in there. Where's the 50th anniversary done?
You have to do this.
Knock yourself out there.
Speak in front of 200 people there.
No, it's not easy. Like people, especially even when we last year done the presentation, and like the hall was filled, and Jesus, what have I done here? But it's usually it goes okay. And then back to Aermail, obviously it touched on getting the club into amateur league, and then we're going from strength to strength. When were you nominated on to the committee?
Probably it was good. Probably about 7 or 8 years ago. Like,
and how does that conversation? Who has that conversation with you? How does that come about for you to get sort of nominated on? Or
it's just obviously people asking for different ideas and how we're going to go progress and do whatever, and obviously there's that come up and they like me in, and I come on, and it's just we have a good bunch of lads on the committee there, and anything we need to try and do, we do it. Obviously, everybody pushes forward and work together, do you know what I mean? So we'll try our best, like, do you know what I mean? So it's good. It's a good bunch of lads are on the committee now.
And any decision sort of made, what I like is some people, good thing about a committee, there's always disagreements. And I think that's a sign of good committee, because you should never always agree. People should have different ideas and different thoughts. But I always know that decisions are made for the benefit and the good of the club.
Yeah. Nobody
has like a personal agenda. If somebody says no, it's not because they don't like somebody, it's just don't think it'll work. Or whatever. And then when you were on the committee, did you ever have sort of aspirations to hopefully in 5, 10, 15 years down the line to be chairman, or or was it just one of those things?
To be honest,
as it progressed?
It was just. It was right there. You go. That's you. And I went, what?
I don't want this.
Whose idea was this? Was it Danny? Was it mine?
What I think. But that speech.
No, but listen, I was elected in there, and obviously, and the lad says that I was next to Dean, obviously, because I was probably one of the longest serving.
One now, it's the obvious choice.
Next one in line, so I think I've done a relatively good job.
No, I would have. Who was the chairman for Paddy?
Mm-hmm.
Paddy. Yeah. No, I think you've done it. For what it's worth, I think you've done an incredible job. I say this sort of to anybody that listens to, is that the amount that I see personally, the phone calls, the work, the emails that you do, and it's commendable.
Yeah.
I've never, as I said earlier in the podcast, I've never seen any chairman as dedicated, committed, time-wise, and you go to all the kids' matches, well, most of the kids' matches, you're at every senior training, you're at every senior match,
Look, I'm never too far away, do you know what I mean? I'm always somewhere, you'll find me somewhere in a football pitch, like anywhere with football, I'll be early.
I know, I just think it's, because a lot of, like, I remember being sort of, like, involved for a short time. I played for St James's Reserves, sort of just as it was coming to the end. But I would have been involved like with forward. I would have played a forward. I would have played for Leisure. And I'm not joking you, we had no idea who the chair people were. Didn't know who they were. Never spoke to them. Never at games. You kind of had an idea who the committee was, but didn't know who the chairman was. So it's probably a blessing sometimes that you're out there, but probably from your own personal point of view.
But I'm never too. I'm always reachable. You know, I mean, it's just I'm approachable. I like to think I'm approachable, do you know what I mean? So
Most times.
depend on what side of bed I go, do you know what I mean? But just
Depends on how many complaints you've had.
yeah,
Yeah,
as
only
say
approachable when he's writing into the chat in all caps.
that's the thing that I've learned there when you read all caps, actually shouting at people, do you know what I mean? But only learned that there now, if I'm honest.
Away from him.
You know, but listen, I like to think I'm approachable, and obviously, as I say, I'm never too far away. I'm always about somewhere, like, you know what I mean? So, but I like to think that I'm doing a good job.
You will be.
So far now, like, so
I
far so good.
I think you're obviously it's a team effort from everyone at the club and parents and coaches and players, but I do genuinely think you're instrumental in what we've achieved as a club. 37 years, it's a lifetime in itself. I'm only 37, so you joined Newhill when I was born, and you've been there your entire life in some capacity. You've obviously been down from you've been 6-year-old, so essentially your whole life you've been at the club. Like I always find players like that, even the likes of Noah Slegg and Paddy McStravick. Paddy McStravick's been there for years. Like,
Paddy's were there
boys generally don't leave the club when they get in and they sort of get a feel for it. And because, like I always say, when you go to a club that says Newhill, there's always people you don't like. It's just human life. There's always people you not fussed on him. There is genuinely, I can honestly say this without any fear of contradiction, there is nobody at Newhill I dislike. There is nobody.
Yeah, I could backtrack that. Depending on what side of bed I go, do you know what I mean?
I'm not talking about parents or whatever, but I'm talking about players and committee and managers. Like there is nobody at that club that I wouldn't go for a beer with.
I would like to think. I mean, everybody, all coaches, committee members, we're all approachable. You know, we're only human beings. You know what I mean? So ask us anything, and if we can do it, but we'll try our best to to get it done. You know, but there's a lot of things that goes along. Round the block, people don't see it, and I go like, you have no idea what way this club runs. None of you have a clue. Like. And I think the club's running very well at the minute, and it's going, as I say, strength to strength, and everybody's happy at the minute. Like, so
it'd be great when the pitch sort of
I can't wait.
next season.
I ain't camping out in that. I ain't going down to a Falls Park, and I'm not moving.
You'll be putting the whole thing.
You're right in the middle. I was actually, I'll tell you about the time the stolen car was being. You'll never believe it. I actually jumped up a gate at Norfolk, right? This is true as God.
You were going to say you drove the car.
No, this is true as God, right? And I'm making Michael here. I'll tell you what, Michael Donnelly will verify this. I'm Michael Donnelly. It's 3 in the morning. You Michael, listen. You never believe it. I changed up through Norfolk, and actually, the headlights came round to me. What's going on in the Falls Park? I stopped the car, bounced over the gate. Says to me, what am I doing here? Up I went, stolen car, going bananas on the pitch. Says to me, what?
What did you just chase it off?
Yeah, I had to ring a cops. I was trying to ring Bob. Why I was trying to ring Michael Donnelly, I'll never know. But it was 23 in the morning. I think, like, Michael Donnelly rings me, goes, will you go away?
You could just picture Michael Donnelly half 3 in the morning. Oh, Aermail.
What possibly?
I'm too tired for this.
What possibly could he want this in the morning? But no, listen, I rang the cops on. The cop says, you shouldn't be in there. I went, they're wrecking the pitch. Hey, what do you want me to do? We put our whole life something in this here. What do you want me to do here? Help us out. And basically he says they'll sound somebody up, and obviously whether they did or not, he told me not to stay in the park by himself. And I go, yeah, Tony, you need to get somebody up here, like, and I was mad. I'll never forget it.
I can just picture it in the scene. Where are you going? Where are you going?
It was crazy. Like, I going, like, what was I going to do? Like, but listen, one of them things, you know what I mean?
I think it just shows the sort of dedication and the emotion, what it means to you, like the attachment of the club. You don't want,
because we only got the pitch, we only got the Falls Park, and they're running about in stolen cars and flying up and down hills, and kind of place.
Thankfully, it seems to have had its day now. Thankfully,
it's moved on.
That's moved on. You don't see. I couldn't tell you the last time I seen a stolen car. Like, you're a bit older than me, like, but I remember even as a kid, 16, 17, growing up, would have been every Friday or Saturday.
Yeah,
you would have seen it. But now I couldn't. It's been 15, 20
Which
years.
is a good thing,
it's brilliant.
They're all done now, like, do you know what I mean? So,
and I think a lot of kids now, particularly our kids, 16, 17, they're big into their sport now. They're big into their fitness. They all want to go to the gym. They're all doing sunbeds. They're all brushing their hair. They're all
like 17-year-old. I see where hairbrush. Bring
them to training.
Oh, it's great.
And hairbrush.
I had a player trial, so it does with the South Belfast trials, and he brought a comb, and he was on the sideline, and he combed his hair, and
he stayed on the sideline.
I thought to myself, sure, I can't pick him here.
If I pick him here, I'm going to get such abuse. No, like it's the way things have changed now. That's crazy. Even young kids and all bring her brush.
Like I remember like years ago, like if you had a told, sort of when you get older, 30, 35, like if you're around somebody, don't care, you laugh all, it's a giggle. But if you had told somebody, like there was one of the lads played for Tiernan, said again, I'll not mention his name, and I seen him at the top of the way up, and I says to him, I'll not mention his name, you'll know him, and I said, well, so I said, you doing the Sunday? It's only like 15, 16. He says, oh, I do 3 a week. Fuck on.
You're a week.
Fuck on. I think, right, okay. Like it was the norm.
Yeah.
You had told somebody 17, 18, 19, oh, I'm doing Sundays.
Yeah, they put your head down the toilet in school.
You're like a torture.
Here, have a bit of
it's not a bad thing now. The kids just don't care anymore. You know, you can take them about
That's a good thing.
Times have changed, as I say. We've spoken about it, and all times have changed so much.
They don't care what people think about this.
Nah, they just don't.
All they do, right a bit.
So, Aermail, a couple of quick fire questions for you. We'll keep these.
Thanks, Frank.
We'll keep these short and sweet. Don't you be laughing, Darren. You've got a couple after. So we've got 5. One more answers if you can, but you can elaborate if you wish.
Does yes, no include?
Yes, no. Or you can just you can name names. Best moment at your time of Newhill. One moment that stands out.
Has to be when the champions. One of the first ever Newhill teams to obviously to win it. Under Yakin and Sherlock, we won the champions.
Were you playing?
Mm-hmm.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah, and the fella from Cullyback, and your man from Cullyback tortured me. Absolutely tortured me the whole game. They just told me to clear the ball, so I was just bang, no football whatsoever. Just there you go.
Like people mightn't realise it, but you could actually, they weren't bad. You could play a bit, to be fair.
But,
and a half.
Yeah, well, that's what the Sherlock says to me. Just clear the ball.
That's it.
And your man come over at the fella from champions, the Cullyback, used to be like, what have you got in your foot there? Have you a golf club down there? And then obviously everybody called me golf club for a wee bit and blah blah blah. But it blew over, you know, and I've still got the champions medal in the house, like, so.
Brilliant.
It was a good achievement, like.
This one's going to cause a bit of controversy, but I'm going to commit yourself these next couple. Your favourite coach at the club?
As in
the person just
throughout the whole thing?
The whole club at the minute. Your current favourite coach at the club?
I don't really. You're not really supposed to have a favourite, like, Mark. You know,
we all have favourites. Go on, Aermail.
You have to give an answer.
This is a controversy I want.
She's definitely throwing me on the bus here. Like.
Next one's worse. You can play it safe if you want.
No, I'm not even going to so much play it safe. Like, I mean, well, I'm going to go with Paddy McStravick.
I love us.
The reason why I'm going with Paddy McStravick is because Paddy pulled me out, obviously, with the 2010 team. He came in and helped me out. Obviously, when Megan left there, obviously, university and stuff like that there. So I sort of asked Paddy, and he came in, he's hemmed and hawed on. I brought him in. I was taking the team and brought Paddy in, and I said, right, leave it with you. And Paddy's brought his own men in, Anto and Big Dacky Brown. They've come in, and they're going well. And another team started there as well. So. Roland and Neil's obviously cracking on them boys there, so it's going well. So I have to say Paddy, I mean, because only reason why I'm saying Paddy is because he bailed me out, if I'm honest with you.
He's Mr. Newhill as well too.
He's getting there, like, he's going there, like, so he's not as far on as me, but he's getting there.
It actually worries me, the fact that he could one day be the chairman of Newhill.
Oh, God help us all.
You know he's going to clip you saying that.
It's going to be in every Newhill WhatsApp group. Here's another one for you. Your favourite player? I'll rephrase that. Your favourite senior player?
No, senior player.
Because I didn't want you picking your son or something.
No, I was going to say that. No, go right there, Gillen there, you know, it was easier.
Favourite senior player?
It's just, see, to be honest with you, I can't really pick one. I'm not going to tell you, I really can't pick one. I like all the lads. I mean, and they do a great job there, and the senior team's flying at the minute, so I genuinely can't pick one.
I was a cop out, but I'll give you that one. So I was a cop out. Here's one here for a bit of a giggle, and you have to pick one here. The worst player at the club. The worst player at the senior.
Oh,
you have to pick this.
Oh, he's definitely throwing me on the bus. Seriously,
I'll pick that one. Pick the other one.
You can say Patrick Dillon or whatever you want. I don't mind.
No, listen.
Just say
no. there's been so many I can see the ranks of them. Honestly, like that, and I go, how does this wee lad ever think he's a footballer? You know what?
I sometimes think I had a big limerick. When I see big limerick,
He
I'm
was
like,
an
"That's
absolute.
flat."
I tell you what, an absolute lunatic. Sort of, or down the absolute lunatic. Mick, see, to be honest with you, and again, there's been so many has come through.
Can't pick them.
And I go like, how's this? We don't even think he's a footballer. You know, I go, he's only after getting off of 13 hits down on bridge or something. Absolute space guy, but nah, I'll tell you the one that I brought. Remember the guys when I was working in the pizza place when I was doing the deliveries? The boys from the. Phil, remember the guys from Domino's, remember?
Oh, yes.
What did you call him again? What would be the nickname for him? He has to be the worst footballer. He couldn't, but he was telling me he was burning, and I says to me, come on with me up the train, and I says to me, somebody get him home. Absolutely, I can't even remember the guy's name.
Good old bit of recruitment there.
I thought I was doing a good thing there.
Domino's.
What have I done here, me mate? That's training cancelled for the foreseeable future. He didn't get him back. He was horrendous. Horrendous. He was.
Darn, your turn now. Your ones will be a bit easier.
I see. You're a bit of
You're a bit. You would have loved them questions. So, best Newhill moment.
Probably being me a club captain a few years back. I can remember it well. We were away at Kirkcudbright, so we were,
Okay.
and we'd won the game 3-1, and I'd scored a penalty. So I did to make it 2-1 the last 5 minutes, and then it was actually Carl Toner who scored the third. He was up for the first that day. Don't know whose decision that was,
but we're stuck.
Damn near a few quid when I say there.
And then it was announced after the game. So probably then, because like I said,
It was the manager of the seniors. Yeah, Foxy. Right, okay.
It's just awkward.
That's
just awkward.
In fairness, though, I don't think that was a bad move. You know, like you seen, especially when you were younger, kids growing up in like 13, 14, and they were captain because their daddies took the team, and you're like, what's going on here? Like, but you probably backed that up with performances. To be fair,
nailed on.
You're good. You're a decent player, to be fair.
Gives you 110% every week. There's no issue.
Yeah, no. So it probably wasn't a bad. And Foxy, to be fair, Foxy's pretty honest. So if Foxy doesn't think you're doing the job, he'll sometimes too honest.
All the spade too often. Like.
Hardest team you've come up against as a senior player. So a team where you've come off the pitch thinking, that was a rough 90 minutes. They were good. That was tough. And that could be anything skillful. It can be sort of physical.
I'm trying to think back to even the senior games at Rosario. So I am as well. Whenever I was there,
I don't want Rosario. I want Newhill. I don't care about Rosario. I have no care of Rosario or Barry Begley whatsoever. I'm only joking, Barry, by the way. If you listen to this.
Hardest opponent for Newhill then? Probably Tuckmore were a good side whenever they were Bland in 2B, which was only 2-3 years ago. I know they got relegated back from 2A back down to 2C, but they were a good side, always physical. They could play as well.
Tuckmore were a good side,
yeah, had big lads all over the pitch, but if you could play as well, could get about the pitch no problem. And we played them in the quarter final or Junior Cup, Junior Shield, and the game was 3-0, but it was they scored 3 goals per 5 minutes, and you're like,
almost sucker punches.
It finished 3-0, but they probably could have went and did us more.
Yeah,
they wanted to that day, and that was only 2 years ago. But like I said, they've got more from them.
I think players too, especially like Tuckmore is probably not too dissimilar from us. We've got so many clubs and like a mile, 2 mile radius. Players come and go and they move on, and like we have like when you would have joined Newhill, it would have been Newhill.
Yeah,
as far as I can remember now. There's, as I say, there's Belfast Celtic, there's CSP, there's Willowbank, St James's. So it definitely does.
Would they just as you say, would they have a cup game against Willowbank whenever they were get up the leagues, and that was
a tough.
Yeah, they were 5-0 up in the first half. It finished 6-3, a bit more respectable, but that was a tough.
It was over, really.
It was the first 25 minutes.
Who's your toughest individual opponent? So somebody you've come up against and they have give you a horrid day. They have just turned you inside out. Where you've thought, oh God, I hope I never face that man again.
Trying to think of opponents against Newhill. It's hard to go by names, but maybe I'll keep it inside the squad. Maybe think about training. Don't think anyone's tortured me yet. A few people will say differently. But, I can't even recall any names, to be honest. I'm not saying that as if I've kept them out, but
no, I know what you mean. You just can't remember.
Yeah. But you would love to hear us. So he will Big Keely McAvoy and trains pretty.
He's a lump, isn't he?
Tough to hold him up again.
I've watched a couple of games he's playing, and when Big Keely's on it, if
I was putting myself in opponent's shoes playing against Keely, I would hate it. So
he just runs at you. He's just a big fit,
and he
strong
doesn't stop running at you.
Yeah,
sometimes he needs to pass the ball a bit more.
I know. Well, I'll try and get Keely.
Pass the ball.
Keely, if you're listening, one ahead, mate. Let's start passing it. I remember, just deviating a wee bit, I remember playing for Ford over in the Valley, and I was about, I want to say 12, 13 years ago. I can't remember the exact time, but I was young and I was fit and I was strong. And the previous 3 or 4 games, I was doing midfield, and I played brilliant the 3-4 games, and I was always was fit and energy, and they probably don't think I'm looking at me now, but
I'm not saying you trained on Monday anyway.
But there was a guy against Greencastle. I don't know his name. Still this day, I don't know his name, and I swear almighty God, mate, that guy turned me inside out. I tried everything, and that guy turned me. It was the hardest game I've ever had in midfield. He beat me in the air of the ring. He beat me 50-50 tackles. When I tried to go tight to him, he spun me. He was a tough. So that's why I was hoping you would have had somebody there where maybe you were doing right back and they were left side and just turn you inside out. So that's why I thought I asked you. Bit of controversy here for you. The best coach you've had in Newhill?
You know what? They probably come as one, so they do. Joe and Smicker growing up.
Okay.
Just because they were able to provide so many good times. So they were. Like I said earlier on in the podcast. We went unbeaten for 2 years with them, and so we won trebles, doubles, got the NI Cup final whenever the Newhill structure wasn't the same. So you were playing your Clinvilles, your Torrens, who had the full internationals at that time, so they were separated. So you were playing them and
tough opponents,
and we got the NI Cup final in the 16 and we played the Glens, and they had, I think it was 8 internationals. It actually had to be postponed for May Day, because they're usually on May Day, the NI finals, and it had to be postponed because they were away. Because they were all away. Chance to yell.
Forget about it. Just wrap it up now.
Probably those two, like I say, they probably come as one, but
Smicker and Joe.
Yeah, and then obviously you have Connor Mullen, who's probably one of the best coaches in the country. So
I'd probably at grassroots. I'd probably go some of Connor's. Like I think our senior team. I've actually said this to Connor. I think we're now 27, 28 games unbeaten. Somebody will confirm it, unbeaten. And like I've watched our first team play quite a few times, and in terms of pure football, I don't think
quality football, elite coaches. Connor's
a cracker. Like, see, when Connor was younger, Connor went to play. He come to play a few weeks for us up on a Thursday, and I think Connor's same age or 20, be honest, 40s now. Couldn't get the ball. You would have had boys there that could have outran him because obviously they were younger and fitter. Couldn't get the ball.
And he still joins in training sometimes in the games, and it's tough to get the ball.
He came into the senior setup, Russell. He goes, it was the maddest thing ever.
Is that the one you were telling me the story? I think it was Stephen Sherlock brought him in, and everyone was going like, this kid's only, I'm going to say 16, 17, whatever.
And he run the show.
What are we doing? And he says, just wait and see. And he was outstanding.
Like the intensity of his training.
It's class, absolutely.
Class, like.
But he's a good communicator, Connor, to be fair. Even when like you're at a game, he sort of gets his message across well. And where Foxy would be a bit more sort of direct, where Connor would be a bit more tactical.
When we had the senior team in the Sunday League, and he never went in, I used to go up to the store. I used to see the plane. I mean, open that much of me. I can see the plane.
Sunday morning.
That's me, Connor. I've seen the plane moving. Get down the stairs now. And he used to go, you are a melter. A melter. He used to have him tortures to come play football.
Banging the door.
I just used to see a plane. That much, flicker that much of me. Right, come on, you're up.
There's the door didn't go up.
It was very nearly did, believe me.
The thing is, Connor would probably do the same now.
No, 100%. 100%. 100%.
Best life moment to date.
Probably graduating from Queen's to become a mental health nurse.
Right. Okay. Thought you might have said that to be fair, and that just moves me nicely on to my next topic. Probably not everyone knows, but as well as being club captain, you're a band 5, band 6.
Band 6, just there a few months ago.
Band
Good on you.
6.
You got it.
Psychiatric nurse. What made you go into nursing? What made you go into that sort of line of nursing? It's most people from Ballymurphy and West Belfast, from where we're from, it just wouldn't be something you would do. What led that to happen?
It's you know what, and I actually never knew what I wanted to do. To be honest, like even in A level, which was upper 6th, lower 6th, but every year you had to decide what you actually wanted to do, basically, and go to uni and do. Like up till the final moments, I never really knew what I wanted to do.
I don't really think anybody knows what they want to do at
Yeah.
17, 18, 19. It's just, you're almost winging it at that
Yeah.
stage and hoping that it falls your way. But no, that's interesting. And then, like, would you, probably a silly question, but I'm asking this from an untrained sort of eye and untrained ear. Would you, like, could you spot, like, say, like at our senior training, for example, like, could you spot if somebody was struggling or if somebody was down, or is it hard? Can people head it well, or
Yeah, it could be tough at times, so it can.
Mhm.
Obviously the club captain probably comes into it as well, because you're always looking out to try and look after the senior players, so you are keeping an extra eye out anyway, but on top of the profession
Yeah,
as
yeah.
well. So you always are keeping a lookout to see if people are maybe a bit quieter
Yeah.
than what they were the previous week. So maybe like I say, they come to train a wee bit more down than what they usually are. They usually up, and that became the train slightly, like I say, slightly down. Is there, and then maybe give them a message and after.
because I think there's that stigma, isn't there? And I know there was a big sort of campaign around it there for a few years, and a lot of funding put into it, where like generally men don't talk. When they're down, they sort of just shield it and put it away. Like, but it's becoming more and more. I actually watched a podcast there. I can't remember the name of the podcast, but Joe McDonald was on it. From I think Joe lives in the Strand or whatever, and I actually broke down on the podcast. And Joe's a laugher and a joker, and he's nuts really.
Yeah.
But he was a really good footballer. He was across the water and stuff. And he probably would have been the last person I ever would have thought would have struggled with mental health. And I just think, in particular, the sort of men of footballers, particularly West Belfast, Belfast, where we're all from, and any part of Belfast.
And that's the thing. They're probably probably more recent times. We probably are better at talking about it.
Yeah.
Because there's a lot more awareness about it now. But before then, whenever only a few years back, if I wanted to do it, there probably still was a stigma around it, because the awareness wasn't as big as it is now. Because you have all your like local charities and stuff now.
Yeah.
Like Jared Mullen, like you mentioned earlier, like the West Wellbeing and stuff like that.
They do great work.
Yeah, no,
absolute
George's
great
a
work.
good guy. Bit of time for George, actually.
And like many people don't know, like I set up something myself, so that whenever I went to Queen's, it's called Teams, which stood for Together Educating the Facts of Mental Illness and Stigma.
Right, okay.
So it was just about running events to raise money and awareness, and then that money would just go to charities like West Wellbeing,
Right, okay.
like
I didn't know that.
Lighthouse here in North Belfast. Like I've ran marathons to raise money for that. We've done the charity football match, raise money, all at the Lighthouse. People probably call me a head case for it, but I've done a 24-hour run / walk. So I did
Non-stop?
Yeah.
Non-stop for 24 hours.
24 hours,
And it all went till I think it was like $3,000 we raised, and it all went till I think it was Lighthouse. So it was here around West Belfast, but at the time Jared Mullen hadn't set up West Belfast.
When did you do that?
So that wouldn't have been long after I qualified. So that was probably 2018, 2019. But it came on the back of I just seen an opportunity, because like you say, the stigma, and there probably wasn't as much awareness, and it was a lot of responsibility to take on at such a young age myself, on top of football, on top of going to uni, and I was able to go back till St Mary's, where I went to for secondary school, and do like talks till um their pupils and stuff whenever I left, and do talks till some of the old teachers, just to
It must be like, from that point of view, it must be rewarding, from that point of view too, to go and qualify and then go back and basically, try and, I don't know if teach would be the right word, but
yeah,
present to
and
people that taught you.
100%, and that's what I say, like it 100% is rewarding. Because I went back and we done like a day of just like raising awareness throughout the whole day, but it was like each year group were coming into the assembly hall like an hour, so it was like whatever it is, 6-7 year groups. So first year come in first, we done whatever we're doing, the presentations, then second year's come in, so the whole school got it that day. So I don't even know how much pupils you're talking about.
Probably 3, 4,
Easy.
You know what I mean?
Easy.
And teachers coming in with them, and so you're probably on the guts of 500 there people you're raising awareness to.
You probably opened a few teachers' eyes as well in regards to the presentation and stuff.
I always found growing up in West Belfast, particularly in recent years, as I say, there's a bit more sort of scope on it. I think a lot of it's to do with trust, and there is people there who are down. People need a hand, whether it be just a yarn, whether they need a few bob, whether it could be anything. And I always think that people don't like telling things to people, because sometimes people have big news, and if they tell somebody something private or personal, and then they're going blabbering it about in the bar, it almost makes them worse.
Yep.
And I always think people like didn't feel like they could open up because they couldn't trust people. They keep their mouth shut.
And that is a large part of it, like the
Big time.
relationship you have with people, because someone's not going to open up to you or if they don't trust you.
If they think you're going to,
Yeah, and that's the thing, like you mentioned it, like everyone in West Belfast has mental health.
there's no.
But people think you can only start talking about it when you get to a crisis point,
Yeah,
and you can't hold it in anymore. But when you get to that crisis point, then possibly could be too late, or it's going to take longer for you to recover. Whereas if you are going to open up maybe before you do get to that stage of crisis, then it's a lot easier to prevent you getting to that stage.
Yeah, Joe, just come back to Joe's podcast. He had said like the best thing, he had been to counsellors and had been to other sort of people that he had he knew there was something wrong, and like he would have went in and counsellor would have come in and say, well, Hastings, brilliant, dead on, and he would have went, and he never got nowhere because he was lying to himself. He wasn't being truthful, and he got this particular counsellor, and I can't remember the guy's name, and he went in and he says, well, Joe, how are you? He said, I'm brilliant, dead on, grand. And he said, well, I'm going to go and get a cup of coffee, and when I come back, if you don't start telling me the truth, you're gone. He says, you're lying to me, I know you are. And I come back, and he said, it was only then I realised that he knew that I was telling lies. He said, we just opened the whole thing out. He said, it was the best thing I've ever done.
Yep.
It just transformed me. He says, now I feel so much better. So
it's the thing that maybe people don't realise, like there is stuff that you can do, like once you do start talking, like there's all that counselling, there's therapies and all that stuff, but we don't know what to do until you actually
people start talking. I suppose it's one of them things too. It's like mental health. It's a disease, really, isn't it? And it's a bit like alcoholism or drug addicts or whatever. You gotta want to help. You gotta. And sometimes people, and I don't understand mental health, to be honest with you, but sometimes I think people have to understand they've got problems and they have to want help. People out there probably have issues and they won't go and get help, they won't go and speak to people. So you have to make that first step. It's a bit like, as I say, drug addicts or gambling addicts, or you gotta go and want it. You need to be able to want to stop drinking or taking drugs or gambling, or
definitely, like, and I would say that like on a day-to-day basis and work, like if you want to recover and get out of that phase that you're in and struggling from all that
you
stuff,
have to help yourself.
then you do have to help yourself. You put stuff in place to help prevent this, to maybe go back into where you were, or and prevent all that stuff. But people do, like you say, people do need to want to also get help as well, which is when they can hopefully start.
Because there is help obviously there, and there's funding, but as you say, you have to want to go, and there's no point going and getting the help and then sort of telling lies. It's I haven't done this.
That's the issue that I can see. I'm not trained in any way medical thing as much as Darren, but if you don't want to help yourself, you're
Yeah.
beating your head against that brick
And
wall.
any walk of life,
Yep.
you know, whether it be if
Yep.
you're even like something a bit more straightforward, like trying to lose a bit of weight,
Mhm.
you know, and you don't go to the gym and you eat your body weight in food, and then you're complaining you're putting weight on. You know, you have to want to get up and go to the
Go
gym.
and
You
do
have
it,
to
yeah.
want to stop eating or whatever. So you have to want to do it.
Right.
Just to touch back on Aermail, obviously, a lot of people probably don't appreciate. In fact, I would say 99% of our club probably don't appreciate what you do. Just give us just a bit of an overview on the day-to-day. Like, what does it take to run a club of this size? I mean, we have 22 teams. It's a monster of a club, probably the biggest. Will be right in saying the biggest club
I
in
would
West Belfast.
I would say the
I know
biggest
St.
club in West.
James's have a really good setup, but
Yep.
I think we would probably just put them in terms of club size.
Look, see, to be honest with you, there's a good team there. I have a good team in Aermail. I'm not saying that I don't do work myself. I do a lot of work, do you know, and there's things there. I'm a believer. People go to me, you're absolutely off your head, like. Seriously, they're going to be to help and spread out together. But see, if I do it myself,
You know.
then I know it's done.
Yeah.
There's a lot of things there, but Darren could do, you could do, Yankee could do. See, if I could just go and do it myself, it's done.
That's it. It's done.
Do you know what I mean? And I've been on the laptop straight after work and sending emails. Even my Belfast City Council goes, why are you emailing me at 4 in the morning? She goes, go sleep, you balloon. Do you know, she, like, I'm at one of my matches and she goes to me, why do you email me at that time? I says, because when I come out of work, I says, sit in my head and then I send emails, obviously, even regarding pitches and just cancel bookings and stuff like that there. And I have it all written down and people would be like, you are absolutely off your head, like. You know, even when Moya even said that to me, I'm going like, and I went back and checked and all, every email to the Belfast City Council was 25 to 3.
He just finished.
You know, I've only finished working on Friday, Saturday night, and she goes, like, what is wrong with you?
That would be the last thing I'd be doing at 3.
No, but you know, because it's in my head, and then if I don't do it, then that night, and then I'll go to sleep, and then should be out of my head again, and should knock it on the next week.
Like, we went to the Foil Cup in the summer or something, and took, what was it, 16, 17 kids down, what, 11, 12, 13 kids. It was Skull's team, so it was just a team to go, and he's still sitting up early hours in the morning sending emails for the club. So he is, and he's already
getting up the next morning. Yeah. And people don't see it. Like, I mean, like, I don't know if people realise you have 5 kids. Obviously, living in the house too. Like, so it's not like you're a single lad with no responsibilities and you're doing all this for the club. And even like the finances of run the club. Like, people sometimes, I think, our parents think, oh, the club's making a fortune. Like, and when you break it down to them, like, our dry cleaning bill alone is thousands of pounds a year. Referees, £1,000. Pitches, facilities, the bus, the tax, everything.
It's mental. But you know, as I say, it's starting to pan out now, and where you don't have to sort of worry about everything out there. Like, I mean, it's really hard to explain that, you know, because there's a lot of people do different various things, obviously throughout the club and stuff like that, and then they'll come to me and they'll send me an email and I'll go, right, that's the understand, and then I can send it off. You know, it's working now, so don't change it if it's not broke. Don't just let it crack on. So it's working, you know. And I know Darren was going to just about the Foil Cup. It was hilarious, like, and the IFA sent me a thing, and I'm going, what has this got to do with me? International transfers, and I'll tell you what, it was Jordy Thompson, right?
He was living in Australia.
Living in Australia to come back to Belfast. I was going to brain him when I got back. I was going to chuck him to death. I'm going to myself, what has this got to do with me? International transfers. I had to do a course on an international transfer, and I'm going. So I rang Moya at the council and I said, Moya, listen, I know this is probably out of your death, and Moya obviously washed her hands on me. Listen, nothing to do with me. Need to ring Tracy Scott. Of course, Tracy Scott was on holiday when obviously I was at the Foil Cup, so I was like a maniac up at the Foil Cup, absolute space cadet. And I'm sitting doing this course and all, and I'm going, and I rang a few people and I'm going, did you have to do this course? Don't know what you're talking about. And I went, I mean, am I the only person in Belfast I says has to do this course? And I'm going like, does nobody know what I'm talking about? And they're going, you are losing your mind. And I'm going, I'm telling you now, I'll send you this email that I've got here.
I can remember when it was all going on, we were in here, we were in the cup tea or whatever. And something came in, I think it was an email come in, and like, I thought you were going to take a nervous breakdown. Like, I don't believe this is happening to me. Wait, this is happening to me. All I want is this man to be able to play for the other. What's wrong? I'll not probably tell this podcast what you say because it's probably a bit too explicit. But
see that course, there was 14 parts of that course.
And you had to do it.
And I had to do it up there. And I'm going to myself, what is wrong with me?
The only man ever.
Do you know, and it's
And did nobody else have to do it?
no, but only because you're not transferring international players.
Right, okay.
There's transfer fees and all included. That's like going, where? There's no money involved in this. The guys come back to live in Belfast. He wants to play football. But it was hilarious. So I'm going 5 days up the Foy Cup. I'm going, hey, I was racked. I said, me, somebody gives a break here, will he? I need a holiday off this. But, and I rang a few people and they're all going to be, no clue. And I was Googling it and I'm going, right, no sweat. And then I set the club email up with this with this company, right? And they wouldn't take it. And I'm going, why not? Because it's a club email address. So then I had to set up a personal email address with me to them, and then they accepted the thing. Well, I see some of the stuff. I
can imagine.
That's crazy. Like, anybody who comes international transfers, they're not coming. I'm just not doing. I'm not doing.
Selling the Belfast.
Going back somebody else's here.
Just if there was anyone watching.
What's
the joint email?
Listen, there's no
Anybody
chance.
from Australia fancies a change? Just stay behind, lads.
No, but listen, it was challenging. Like, and I'm going like, what am I doing here? Like, do you know?
And while you're doing that, I always say, while you're doing that, you've obviously got the kids in the house, you've lived there, you're trying to hold down a full-time job, and then no doubt in the background you've got parents or coaches or somebody just constantly on it.
There's always somebody looking something. You know,
you couldn't pay me to do the job that you do. It's I do wee bits and pieces, but sometimes it fries me. I'm like, oh, jeez, I would dread to be out.
There's actually a time I was sort of make last year I actually had my laptop right under the seat in the car while I was working. And I was doing comment. This is when the comment only came out, and I'm going like, I just couldn't get my head around it. I'm going, what the hell? What am I supposed to do here? And I actually brought the laptop out and I was registering players, and I'd done everybody, absolutely everybody. And I'm going to myself, my name, address, date of birth, blah blah blah, every single
even
player.
Even the team VP at the start of the new season. See, trying to get that. It's horrific, honestly. See the amount of
people just think it's just a matter of sending out the link and all,
just clicking
on the. But see the amount of people set up 2 and 3 accounts. I just use one account and just sign in.
Yeah,
it's the only thing you don't. Yeah, no, but sure, they set up different email addresses, and then they set up our mail.
And then they get charged twice, and then it's our fault.
Mental, absolutely mental. But the international transfer thing was comical. See, the Foy Cup, my laptop was like flung out the window. I'd be at the end there, no more.
There was times he was driving the bus to all the games, and he was on his laptop.
But it's just, and
if there's any police officers, that's a joke, by the way.
But I only bring the laptop, obviously, just to make sure, and just in case I need to do anything, just and if we need anything, if we need to transfer money or whatever. I only brought the laptop with me, obviously, for situations like that, just in case. And I got this email. I went to myself, what? International transfer? Me, go and get my headpiece. And I logged in, got home after the match, and went up the stairs and sat in my bed. And next thing I opened this thing, it was like 14 like hour sessions. And I go, 14 hours? Yes. Go on, get my headpiece.
Sure, just go Johnny, man. Come on to somebody else's name.
Do us a favour and bounce back over to Australia. You'll be quicker.
That's how long the flight to Australia
is. You should have paid him on their Skulls name.
Yeah. Like, in fairness to Jordy, I mean, I had to get all his details and his driving license and all this here, obviously, to say, but he was living back here and all. It was crazy. Like, I mean, and he goes, what do you mean? If you don't want to give me, don't give me it. So that's what they're asking for. And Jordy, he texted me and all. He said, and the fair play to me, certainly, fair play to you for doing that for me. He didn't have to, blah, 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 and all this shit. But I'm now qualified on the international transfer association, but I didn't want to do anything about it. But, now Jordy's playing for the club and he's doing well. Like, so
I get a picture of him on a board meeting. There was some club in Australia, Dubai or something.
I actually had to email them to get them to release the thing.
This is our international transfer officer.
As well as chairman, as well as
bus driver, chairman.
But obviously the time difference and stuff like that there, and send the details over, and there was no transfer fees, and then they released Jordan, and I was able to get a transfer for it. Yeah, it was crazy. Like, people, Jordan could be like, what? I mean, that's what they're asking for. It's not to do me. I mean, there's physically nothing that I can do. This is what these things are asking. And I got it done. Like, I eventually got it done, but it fried me. Believe me, it absolutely melted me.
You've got perseverance. I'll give you that. You don't need to let them things beat you. Like,
but it was melting. It was hard to do. But once I got into the swing of it, but the kids were all obviously up the Foy Cup and they were coming into the room and all night going, get out of the room here, get this done. You know what I mean? But as I say, at the Foy Cup now, I had an open door policy. Obviously, anybody, kids come walk in, there's no issue. Come on in and have a stand, whatever you need to talk about anything, just swallow away, you know. And it's just in case if anybody, I think it was there, you know. It's just, but I had the laptop open and all the kids were cruising in the room. They go.
I think the good thing is too, like all the kids know you, and all the kids obviously you're. Two kids. The two boys play. The two boys play at the club, and at junior age, so I think all the kids know you and know nothing's ever really too serious. To be fair, it's always a bit of a giggle. But just to finish off, boys, I'm going to open this to both of you. If you had a magic wand in the morning and you could wave it, what would you be for the future of Newhill Football Club?
I'm going to say that clubhouse in the Falls Park. That's what I'm going to say.
Clubhouse, Falls Park.
The Falls Park. I mean, because we've done a lot of work, and obviously, listen, I know people go, oh, clubhouse, what's wrong with you, blah, blah, blah. But it's, we've done a lot of work in the Falls Park. Put a clubhouse there and see how we're going. It doesn't have to be a clubhouse. I'm not asking for the building. Put a cabin.
I think it would be brilliant, especially with the facilities getting done, and it would just finalise it. Michael Donnelly, if you're listening.
Yeah, Michael. Listen, don't be ignoring my phone calls, Michael. I'm not ringing you to look on a porta cabin building. I know it's just, we'll talk about that at a later date and stuff.
Michael actually got him clumped up in Michael's office because he was sitting there for so long. So it's only going to clump that man. But no, Michael, to be fair, has been supportive.
He's been brilliant. He's an absolutely classic, and nothing's.
To be fair.
Nothing's sort of put him out, you know. He's done a lot of work for us, and which I'm grateful for, you know. So listen, get this fence up, and then we'll sit down around his office, and he'd probably move offices. Probably move offices, knock on the door.
He probably resign, say I can't do this. I mean, this is just too.
This man's an absolute lunatic. He's chasing me all over the place.
Skip, same question to you. If you had that magic wand, what would you love for the future of the club?
It probably would have been the pitch being done, but that's being done anyway.
Yeah.
But just for the club to keep progressing the way it is, and that's down to us as senior footballers. Like, we want to give the young players coming through now, like
the platform
to go and play like Irish Cup football in the Falls Park. Like, how good would that be? Like, we can be the ones who can allow that to happen, and that goes out to us. So I just want for the future for us to maybe keep progressing and get the intermediate. Probably. Hopefully that's a short term
fingers
crossed. And then for all the young.
I always say, like my wife always says, "Man, I'm a dreamer." She actually thinks I've lost the plot half the time. I'm much of a dreamer, but I would probably go one step further. I don't see like Lauren done it. Like, why in 10, 15, 20 years time? Why with the right investment, the right structure? Why not try and get the championship? Why not try and get the Irish League? Everyone thought Kenny Bruce when he took over Lauren. I know they were far more advanced than we ever were at that time, but when he came in and he invested serious money, Kenny Bruce said, "I'll not be happy until I hear Champions League music in Inver Park." People laughed at him. And 5, 6, 7 you know, people say there's not a snowball chance at that. And, you know, 5, as I say, 6 years later, he got it. And, you know, they've kind of plateaued a little bit there, but he got his dream. And just there's no ceiling to where you can go as a club if you've dreams are good to have. So no, finishing off, lads, thank you. It was brilliant to get this on, brilliant to hear some of your stories from progressing through the club as you have done. So thank you very much for your time and really appreciate it.
No bother. Thank you, Mika, for a good job as always. Thank you so much. Appreciate that. Thank you.
Cheers. Just finished our second episode with our club chairman Aermail and club captain Darren Donnelly. Fantastic episode, and we discussed everything Newhill. Joining us on episode 3 is local world champion boxer Paddy McStravick, so stay tuned.